Welcome to Hot Topics. I'm Heather Catlin. Here with some stars of Detroit in select theaters right now. Out nationwide August 4th. Algee Smith, Leon Thomas the Third.
What up?
Yes, Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
So this movie, incredible acting. What I hate about it is that it is based on actual events.
Yeah.
So tell our viewers a little bit about what the movie's about and how accurate it really is.
So this movie is about the riots that took place in Detroit in 1967. It specifically centers in and focuses on the Algee motel incident, which 3 young black men lost their lives in there due to police brutality. And it kind of just puts pretty much a magnifying glass on that whole situation and brings you into the truth of it. There has been stories that have been put out before as in books about the motel incident, but nothing on a platform that's this big, you know.
When you guys were shooting it, did the reality of what took place really hit you hard?
It hit all of us really hard. I mean, I remember shooting the riot scenes and, you know, seeing the National Guardsmen carrying a dead body and forgetting I was acting for 2 seconds. And then even in between takes, checking my phone and seeing that people were rioting at the same time in real life, you know, while we were shooting the film. I mean, everything just, it really hit us deep that these are facts and that we're telling real stories, and, you know, there's a lot of pressure with that.
Yeah, it really brings up another conversation of comparing what happened in '67 to what's happening now. Is that kind of what you guys were hoping for? The audience would start talking?
Yeah, you know, that's exactly what we hope for. We hope for people, the dialogue to just be open at this point. Our only objective with this film is to educate people on this situation and then get empathy from people who don't understand why these people were out there rioting, or not just look at them as animals, but look at the reason why they were doing it. So that's our objective. But it's definitely
it's like activism through information.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like as actors, you know, we sometimes feel like our only way to fight back is with a tweet or through protest. But you know, we're able to give these people a true story. You know, these characters went through a lot, and Algee's character definitely went through a world of emotion and hurt, and I think it's really important that the audience is able to identify and empathize with that.
Absolutely. Now you play Larry Reed. You actually got to meet him.
Yeah, funny story is I didn't get to meet him until the end of shooting the movie. And I didn't really get the script until the end of shooting the movie either.
So directed by Oscar winner Katheryn Bigelow. And I heard that she actually didn't even tell you what part you were playing until after you arrived on set.
Yeah, so I get there, I go through the whole audition process. I still don't know who I'm playing. I get there on set in a couple days, but like really maybe a day before we started filming, then I found out who I was. But it was just her genius in that was just to keep us in the unknown, you know, for us to feel like tomorrow's really not promised and to never know what's going on. She wanted us to come in and give reactions, not prepared actions, you know. So she's just a genius.
I mean, it was just an exchange of trust. You know, we had to trust that she had our back and knew what she was doing. Of course, she's an Oscar award-winning director. We had that covered. But like when it comes to her trusting us was like the real big step, because I mean, she gave us the opportunity to improv and to, you know, just really give our own take on what was happening at that time.
Yeah, it was like, say for instance, the scene would be 2 minutes on this piece of paper. She would let the scene run for 6 minutes, and then you would have to figure out what you're gonna do for the rest of that 6 minutes while the camera's on. But she would just completely leave it up to you.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, when is she gonna call cut?
Like, are we still on?
Right.
But I mean, it's got to be intense, because this is not, you know, a laughing matter. These are really intense roles. So when these are going on for 6 minutes, I would imagine that once you kind of step out of that, it might take a while to kind of come back to reality.
It was hard to decompress. It was during shooting, it was very hard to decompress. Even when we went back to the hotel from the set, especially when we wrapped the movie, it took me a while to fully, and I'm still not fully decompressed yet, but it took me a while to just kind of get out of that headspace, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's really heavy material, but regardless, I feel like, you know, we had a lot of conversations just after set about, you know, the positive silver lining that is, you know, being a part of this film. You know, what we could take from this experience, and you know, we can definitely, you know, put together. We can fight back. We can really fight back through this film, and that's what's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, John Boyega, Anthony Mackie also star in this film. What did you learn from them just working with them?
Nothing, they're horrible.
Horrible people. Horrible. Yeah, when they came here to Hot Topics, that's what I thought.
Nah, you know what? It's just the professionalism.
Right.
I watched John Boyega stay in it the whole time. Even everyone on set, from Leon to Jason Mitchell to everyone stayed in it the whole time. Everyone was super professional. And that's one thing that we all respected about each other. We knew why we were there to do that job. And so no one was like, no games being played. We respected each other. No matter who had more work than who or what was about, we knew why we were there to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
As an actor, being able to work on a film like this with wonderful actors, a fantastic director, what are you guys taking away professionally?
I mean, I feel like it's an array of different things. You know, when you're on this big of a platform, when you realize how influential this kind of film can be, there's almost this unspoken fear that who knows what'll come from it. But I think we all realize that we had a really great job to do here, and that we had to just get on in and figure it out. And Katheryn, like we said, trusted all of us to come to work prepared and do what we had to do. So we left our fear at home and really just came to work ready and brave. And you got to take that to each project you go to.
I was going to say that must be a new feeling, because working with Katheryn and having to improv so much just to even get the job.
Come on, it's next level.
Improv in the audition, like, okay, we see what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And was that a cool feeling to kind of not even, I mean, you had to prepare some, obviously, but when it came to it, I mean, I read that she really relied on your improv skills to hire you.
She did. And you know what? Me personally, I'm more comfortable with improv. Okay. Like, I feel like I don't like sticking to a paper or like having to think too much about what I'm gonna do, but I do like being prepared, so I'll look over the script, but I don't like having to be, confined to that. But I feel like she brought out the best in everyone's performance by doing that. It's like no one got a chance to really just, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow. It was like, no, you get here, then you
have that opportunity
do it in the moment.
Yeah.
So when you watched the film, were there moments where you're like, I didn't think that was gonna make it because I made that part up?
A lot of moments.
Obviously, she plotted it out on what you guys were doing, but
there was not even just my scenes, but everyone else's scenes. There were a lot of moments that, like some moments that I was on set watching, and I was like, wow, she took that. Like, she did that. There was a moment where we were running through the riots, and me and the guy who plays Fred, me and Jacob, we dipped off to the side and started running really fast, but they didn't tell us to do that, and they were like, well, we don't know if they're gonna keep it, and they kept it in there. It was like, oh snap. So it's just like seeing her creative process, and just trusting her eye as she trusts us.
Yeah, trusting the edit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And how big of a role does the director play when?
I mean, it's a huge role. I mean, we're living in her world, and for me, I mean, I know this may not be a big deal, but watching her move cars, but not even like driving, like literally just like a tow truck coming through to move all of these cars and moments, and lighting houses on fire. For me, it's real control. She set up a world and dropped us in it, and gave us so much freedom, which is such a huge pleasure. And blessing. Yeah.
Now, Detroit is in the Oscar conversation. When you hear that, is it like, oh my God!
Surreal.
I mean, is that?
You know what? It's kind of crazy, but the thing is, we don't do it for that. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But it's gotta be nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. But it's like that's one thing that I'm appreciative of all my castmates. It's like we're all so focused on, first of all, the work, and first of all, the importance of the film, and I think us being focused on that is what brings those blessings on. It's what brings the Oscar now and all that stuff, because we're not putting our energy over there. We're putting our energy where it matters, and then everything else will come after that.
Trying to give the information to the people.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you going to take away from this film? So in 10 years, when you're like, yeah, I remember shooting Detroit, what are you going to take away?
I'm going to take away that I'm a historian now. Like one of our castmates, Jason Mitchell, we talk about that all the time. Now we're historians. We go down in the book as telling real history, because this is real American history. It's not black history, not white. This is American history. And no one has told it like this. And so it's just the fact, I'm taking away how blessed I am to be able to tell these people's story. Like they've never got a chance for their voices to be heard, and now millions of people can hear it. And I'm just grateful that I can be able to be part of that.
I'll say it's new family, it's a brotherhood, fraternity of sorts, like it's just kind of crazy to work with a lot of these guys, but in a way that was different than we have in the past. Seeing them at auditions or in the studio was like one thing, but to be in a film that means this much with people that I respect and I'm like fans of, it showed me a lot. Yeah. It showed me a lot, and I'm just glad that I can walk away with some new friends, some real friends,
He gonna make us cry on this
Come
show.
on now.
But y'all, thank you so much for stopping by. Whenever you're in Atlanta, you better come here first.
Don't say
okay?
that.
All right, it's done.
All right,
It's
I'm
done.
rating it. All right.
Done, y'all. Thank you so much.
I appreciate
Absolutely. Thank you so
True
much.
pleasure. Thank you.
Y'all, Detroit.
Detroit.
Theaters everywhere, August 4th.